Shabbat shalom, everyone. Our reservation list tells me there are 54 people in the room right now. I think we're close. There's only like 2 who are, but they'll all get here eventually. It's the heavy snow on the roads that's keeping everybody. They haven't changed their clocks. We've given them a whole week, and they haven't figured it out yet. But maybe they'll get here eventually. Page 128 in your Siddur is where we begin. Yedid nefesh av harachaman, Yedid nefesh av harachaman, mishochav el ritzonecha. Mishochav-techa, la 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 la, el ritzonecha. Yarutz avdecha, kemo ayal, yishtachavei la 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 la, el mul hadarecha. Av harachaman, Yedid nefesh av harachaman, mishochav-techa el ritzonecha, mishochav-techa, la 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 la, el ritzonecha. Yarutz avdecha, kemo ayal, yishtachavei la 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 la, el hadarecha. The top of the page, 128. Hine matov umanayim, Shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov, shevet achim gam yachad. Shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad, hine ma tov umanayim, shevet achim gam yachad. If you'll turn back to page 120 in your Siddur. Our blessing for lighting our Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We'll continue on page 130, Psalm 95, as we make our way through 6 Psalms leading us out of a busy week and leading us into the peace of Shabbat. 6 Psalms of praises of God before we come to this day of rest. Lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina ladonai, lechu neranina, lechu neranina, lechu neranina ladonai. Ya Naria Bitsur Yishenu Nekadma Fana Mitoda Naria Naria Bitsur Yishenu Bismira Naria Lo Lechu Neranina Lechu Neranina Lechu Neranina Ladonai Lechu Neranina Lechu Neranina Lechu Neranina Ladonai. From Psalm 96 on page 131, the bottom paragraph in the Hebrew. Let the heavens be happy, and the earth as well, and the sea, and all that fills it. Let all of creation be happy in its existence in God's creation. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim. V'tageh haaretz, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, V'tageh haaretz. Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Melo, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam. Yihiram hayam melo, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, V'tageh haaretz. Page 132 from Psalm 97, 4 lines from the bottom of the page. Light is sown for the righteous, happiness for those who are good-hearted or straight-hearted. We look for these rewards of light and happiness when we bring righteousness and goodness into the world. Or zarua latzadik uyishre lev simcha. Or zarua latzadik Yishrei lev simcha, or zarua latzadik, Yishrei lev simcha, Yishrei lev simcha, or zarua latzadik, Yishrei lev simcha, Yishrei lev simcha. Lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai, lai 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 lai. Or zarua latzadik, Yishrei lev simcha. Or zarua latzadik, Yishrei lev simcha. Page 133 from Psalm 98 we'll read together in the English at the bottom of the page. A psalm, sing to Adonai a new song, for God has worked wonders. God's right hand, God's holy arm has won God victory. Adonai has manifested God's victory, has displayed God's triumph in the sight of the nations. God was mindful of God's steadfast love and faithfulness toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth beheld the victory of our God. Raise a shout to Adonai, all the earth. Break into joyous songs of praise. Page 135. We exalt Adonai our God. Bow down at God's holy footstool. God is holy, and we bow down at God's holy mountain. The last 3 lines of Psalm 99, page 135. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. On page 136 and 137, we come to Psalm 129, or excuse me, just 29, not 129. Psalm 29, another psalm of praise. We'll read it together in English on both pages, and then we'll sing the last couple of lines in the Hebrew together. A psalm of David. Ascribe to Adonai, O divine beings. Ascribe to Adonai glory and strength. Ascribe to Adonai the glory of God's name. Bow down to Adonai, majestic in holiness. The voice of Adonai is over the waters. The God of glory thunders, Adonai over the mighty waters. The voice of Adonai is power. The voice of Adonai is majesty. The voice of Adonai breaks cedars. Adonai shatters the cedars of Lebanon. God makes Lebanon skip like a calf, Sirion like a young wild ox. The voice of Adonai kindles flames of fire. The voice of Adonai convulses the wilderness. Adonai convulses the wilderness of Kadesh. The voice of Adonai causes hinds to calve and strips forests bare. While in God's temple all say glory. Adonai sat enthroned at the flood. Adonai sits enthroned, sovereign forever. May Adonai grant strength to God's people. May Adonai bestow on God's people well-being. The last two lines in the Hebrew. Adonai oz le'amo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Lai 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 lai. Adonai oz le'amo yitain yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Adonai oz le'amo yitain yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Page 138 and 139. The Chadodi that becomes our bridge from the busy week to the time of Shabbat. The Chadodi likrat kala. Come, my friends, let us greet the bride of Shabbat. Lecha, lecha dodi. You like that version? I'll do a different one. No, we'll keep that one. Likrat, likrat kala. Pene, pene, Shabbat nikabela. Lecha, lecha dodi. Likrat, likrat kala. Pene, pene, Shabbat nikabela. La, 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 lecha dodi. Likrat, likrat kala. Pene, pene, Shabbat nikabela. Lecha, lecha dodi. Likrat, likrat kala. Pene, pene, Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Yishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'sheinu tiferet v'livki la 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 la. Lecha dodi. Likrat, likrat kala. Pene, pene, Shabbat nikabela. Lecha, lecha dodi. Likrat, likrat kala. Pene, pene, Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha. Ki hi mekor habracha. Merosh mikedem nesucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machsheva tchila la 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 lecha dodi. Likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi. Likrat kala. Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Verse number 5. Hitoreri, kiva orech, kumi uri, shir daveri, kivod Adonai alayit, migla la 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 la, lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela, lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. We rise, we face the door, so we welcome in the image of the Shabbat bride. Verse number 9. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha uvtzola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala la 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 la, lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela la 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 la. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nikabela. Well, they'll greet the other bride in Georgia. Huh? Hey. Before we're all seated, shall I embarrass you more? No, I won't. I will not mention that next week's bride is sitting right over here. I'm not going to mention that at all. Not going to mention that.
Volunteer and member of the shul yet?
We greeted the Shabbat bride. We'll greet each other. Turn to all your neighbors. Wish everybody Shabbat Shalom. For those of you online joining us here on YouTube and on TempleShalom.com Live, Shabbat Shalom to all of you as well. Well, we'll all find our seats again. We've welcomed the Shabbat bride. We welcome the other bride and the groom. I guess we should mention the groom and the groom's mom. And yeah, it's etc. Psalm 92, a psalm of Shabbat, page 140. Tov lehodot Adonai, it is good to give thanks to God. Ulzamer l'shimcha elyon, and to sing of God's name. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai. Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon, ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai. Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon, ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Lahagi baboker chastecha, ve'emunatecha ba'leilot. Alei asor ve'alei naver lalei higayon v'chidor. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai. Lizamer l'shimcha elyon, lizamer l'shimcha elyon. Ki simachtani Adonai b'folecha, b'maaseh yadecha haranim. Ma gadlu ma'asecha Adonai me'od, amku machshevotecha. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai. Lizamer l'shimcha elyon, lizamer l'shimcha elyon. Mizmor shir liyom haShabbat, tov lehodot la'Adonai. Lizamer l'shimcha elyon, lizamer l'shimcha elyon. Lizamer l'shimcha elyon, lizamer l'shimcha elyon. Page 142. Shalom Aleichem. We welcome the angels who hold on to our second soul that we're given on Shabbat, giving us a little extra peace and a little extra blessing. Page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bo'achem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Zeichem Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yalalai 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 Shalom Aleichem Malachei Sharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. A poem written in Sfat with music written by a guy whose last name was Brazil, but he wrote it in Brooklyn. That's all, man. Rabbi Brazil, who wrote that melody, actually is still alive and well, and in his mid-80s living in Brooklyn still. So it's not that old of a melody. We move on to our Kabbalat or our Ma'ariv service, leaving our Kabbalat Shabbat service, page 144, with Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgada v'yitgada shemei Rabbah B'yamad yivrach gerutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon uvyomechon U'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala Uvizman kari v'meru Amen Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach Le'olam olam me'almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach, Vishtabach, Vitpa'ar, Vidroman, Vidnaseh, Vitadar, Vitaleh, Vitalal, Shemid, Kudisha, Karichu, Le'ila, Min Kober Chata, Vishihirata, Tushbechata, Vinechemata, Damihiran Be'alma, Vimeru. Amen. We rise. Baruch Hu, our invitation to prayer, page 146. Lai la lai 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 la lai 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 la lai 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 Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Can all be seated. We give thanks for creation with our evening creation prayer of Ma'ariv Aravim, found on page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro Ma'ariv Aravim, b'chokhmah potech sha'arim u'vitvuna meshane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, u'mesader et kochavim b'mishmoroteim, barakir kertzono. God, you have made the world with wisdom, altering time and changing seasons and arranging the stars in their heavenly patterns according to your plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light from darkness and darkness from light. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. May you reign over us for all time. El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Ma'ariv Aravim. Lai 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 lai. Page 150. Ahavat Olam. With the love of the world and an eternal love, you've given us your Torah with its words to guide our pathways each and every day. We speak of the importance of the words of Torah. 5 words, 5 lines from the bottom of the Hebrew. Kihem chayinu, because these words, they are our life. The orech yaminu, and they are the length of our days. Page 150. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta. Amcha ahavta. אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו ובהם נהגי יומם ולילה נהגי יומם ולילה ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל אוהב עמו ישראל. Page 152 and 153. We join together in the words of Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele Asher anochi mitzavecha Hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam amazuzot beitecha uvisharecha Leman tiskeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai vitem kedoshim Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet. We'll read together on page 156 the beginning of our Geula redemption prayer in the English at the bottom of the page. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior, who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You perform miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude, and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyfully, as we do on page 158. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora te'ilot, Seifele, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora te'ilot, Seifelech, Malachutecha, Ra'u Banecha, Ki Hayam Lifnei Moshe uMiriam, Ze Eli Anu ve'omru, Adonai Yimloch le'olam va'ed, Mi chamocha ha'elim Adonai, Mi chamocha ne'edar b'kodesh. As we turn to page 160, we come to Hashkivenu. We ask God to lie us down in peace, to cause us to rise again tomorrow to life, to watch our going and our coming for life and for peace, for now and forever. And since we like the Chadodi, we'll use a melody by the same composer who wrote that Chadodi. He also wrote this Hashkivenu. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'Chayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'Chayim. A little indented paragraph. Ushmor Tzeitenu Uvoeinu L'chaim u'shalom Mi'tavi adolam. Lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'Chayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'Chayim. Shomreinu L'Chayim. Shomreinu L'Chayim. Both of those melodies were off of his second best-selling album in his career. There you go. It's called Shabbat Alive. All the music was written for Sinai Temple on Wilshire Boulevard in Westwood, California, in Los Angeles for their Shabbat Alive service. His second best-selling album. What was his first best-selling album? You're going to think I'm telling a joke when I tell you the name of his best-selling album. It's called Rockin' in Toontown. As in Toontown at Disneyland, because he was also, aside from being a Jewish camp song leader and Jewish songwriter, Craig Taubman was also signed to Disney Records and put out children's music on Disney Records. And when Toontown opened in Disneyland back in the early 1990s, he put out an album called Rockin' in Toontown. You can find all of the Toontown videos on YouTube, probably. But yeah, so the Disney tunes sold better than the Jewish tunes, because I think Disney has more money than Jews. I'm not sure, but.
How many members are in Wilshire Boulevard Temple?
At Sinai Temple, the synagogue that he wrote the music for was asked by their rabbi to write it. They have about 3,000 families. Yeah, it's a big place. Yeah. So they commissioned him to write the music. Rabbi David Wolpe was the rabbi at the time. This melody was written by Debbie Friedman, who was a great songwriter of the 20th century of Jewish music. V'shamru on page 162. The people of Israel will keep Shabbat and will make it a sign between us and God. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. La'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam. Berit olam. B'nei B'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Ki sheshet yamin asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uv'yom hashvi'i Shabbat Shabbat vayi nafash Shabbat Shabbat vayi nafash Tishameru Shabbat Shabbat vayi nafash Tishameru Shabbat Shabbat vayi nafash. Page 164 will rise for our Amidah prayer. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chaste Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor L'Olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah, Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, Umorid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Nichamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Mimitu Mechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata L'chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol, Ata Kadosh, V'shimcha Kadosh, U'kadoshim B'chol Yom Yahalelucha Selah, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue 172 through 180 silently. The words in Hebrew or in English, or the words you find in your own heart. When you're finished with your silent prayers, please be seated. Page 180 in your Siddur. Yehiyu l'ratzon imrefi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai Tzuri v'goali Adonai Tzuri v'goali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart, may they all be acceptable unto you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. Yehiyu l'ratzon imrefi vehegyon libi lefanecha Adonai Tzuri v'goali Adonai Tzuri v'goali. Page 371. That melody was off that songwriter's best-selling album. So there. It's called Wrapped Up in the Fringes, is the name of that album. I don't know whose album that is. It might be mine. Page 371. We take a moment to think of those who are in need of healing. We ask God to bring refuah shlema, complete healing to David Ben Label, Carly Walker, Riley McGee, William Benden, Darren Black, Naomi Talia Bat Sarah, Ganendel Bat Sima, Don Emmerich, Rachel Bat Avraham Vasara, Susan Schenk, Stanley Sachs, Reuven Ben Shlomo Mordechai Vitzipora, Rivka Bat Pearl, Eileen Hamburg, Lisa Lead, Cindy Bat Rivka, Paulette Fry, Dick Taxman, Joanne Schneider-Ferris, Michael Wise, Kira Weiner, and Stephanie Epstein. Are there any other names that we'd like to include on the list? Anybody on this side? Names for healing? Anybody over here? Going to this side of the room, any names for healing? Thank you. Judy? Thank you. Any others? Thank you. For all those that we have named and for all those in need, in the middle of page 371, we ask God to bring them health. Mi sheberach avoteinu mikol habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shleima, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Today and yesterday and tomorrow, well, and Sunday, there's this holiday that seems to go on forever that's only supposed to be one day. It's called Purim. We started it on Thursday night, and we here in Colorado Springs ended it when the sun just went down right now. But in Jerusalem, it ends on Sunday night. That's because Sunday is Purim Mishulash. How many of you have ever heard of Purim Mishulash? If you raise your hand, I'm going to be shocked because most people have no idea what it is. Because the last time Purim Mishulash happened was in 2021. Because today, by the way, does anybody know what today is called? Yesterday, Thursday night to Friday night is Purim, and now Friday night to Saturday night is called, anybody? Shushan Purim, and then Saturday night to Sunday night is called Purim Mishulash. It means the third Purim. Mishulash means third. And so it's third Purim. The last time it happened was in 2021, and we better get the instructions right. If you were here in 2021 on this Shabbat, I explained this, so you should probably remember, but maybe you don't. So I want to make sure you remember it all for the next time that this happens, which is in the year 2045. That's when it happens next, because that's the next time that Purim will actually be on Friday, and Shushan Purim will be on Saturday, 2045. So for those of you who are here in 2045, I don't plan on being here. I mean, I plan on being here, but not here. But what is this all about? It's all about this, that we're told that when we read the Megillah last night, we were told that Mordechai sent out a message to all 127 provinces of King Achashverosh's kingdom, that on the 13th of Adar, the Jews are prepared on the 14th of Adar, which just ended right now. The Jews could protect themselves against all of the people who would attack them, because once the king gave the credo, the command to kill all the Jews, it couldn't be taken back. I'm not sure why, but that's ancient law, so we just had to get over it. And he gave out another command that said the Jews are allowed to fight back, and then it tells us how many thousands of people we killed. That's the part of the story that we don't tell to all the little children, so any children in the room, please don't listen. We killed a lot of people when we fought back. It was thousands of people. But it tells us that in the walled cities, they actually fought back on the next day, like in the city of Shushan, which is a walled city. And so in Shushan, and we don't know exactly where Shushan is, I have my theory of where Shushan is. Would you like to know my theory of where Shushan is? In the imagination of the person who made up the Queen Esther story. Because I think it's a different class, but I think the Purim story is actually political propaganda written by the Maccabees, but that's another class for another time. But in the Esther story, we are told that in Shushan, the Jews fought back on the next day. And so, because it was a walled city, Shushan, not to be misconstrued with Shusha. Anybody know Shusha? Anybody know Shusha? There's about to be a peace treaty over Shusha that's signed. Azerbaijan claims Shusha as its city, and they've been at war. Now I'm going to forget. It's not Albania. Who are they at war with? Armenia. I was going to say Albania, but that's the wrong country. Armenia. And Azerbaijan and Armenia are about to sign a peace treaty, and it gives Azerbaijan control of the city of Shusha, which is not Shushan. There are some people who think that city, because it is on a hill and it is right next to Iran, which is Persia. This is the Persian kingdom, but it's not the same place. It is a walled city, but not this walled city. But in walled cities, Purim is celebrated on the next day, and we call it Shushan Purim. And you celebrate Purim the next day. You read the Megillah, and the next day you do all the things that you do the next day, except that the rabbis in the time of the Talmud said, we can't read the Megillah, which is one of the things you're supposed to do on Purim. You can't read the Megillah on Shabbat. Why can't you read the Megillah on Shabbat? Well, there's a few reasons. There's the practical reason. It makes Shabbat services at Saturday morning a lot longer because you have to read all 10 chapters of the Megillah along with the Torah and the Haftorah portion. But that's not the reason the rabbis give in the Talmud. They say you can't read the Megillah on Shabbat because you may be tempted, if you forgot to bring the Megillah to the synagogue, you may be tempted to carry the Megillah on Shabbat, and you're not allowed to carry on Shabbat. And therefore, instead of reading the Megillah on Shushan Purim, we read it on Friday before. That's right. We read it on a Friday before because they said, well, we'll read it early. We'll read it then. And then on Shabbat, we'll say a special blessing that we Al Hanisim, the Al Hanisim blessing, Al Hanisim, Vala Porkan, Vala Shua, Vala Gura, Shasita Lavotena, Ba'im Imam Zonazeh, for all of the miracles and all of the things that you did for our ancestors in the past. We praise you on this day, which we said yesterday morning when we were davening yesterday morning, if you were davening. And then we keep that on Shabbat, and then on Sunday, we fulfill the rest of the commandments, which is to hand out tzedakah and mishloach manot, to give charity and your shlach manot gift baskets to your friends, which you don't do on Shabbat because your friends might be tempted to carry the gift basket they got on Shabbat, and the poor people who need your charity might be asking for money on Shabbat, so you wouldn't do that on Shabbat. So the rabbis decided we'll take the stuff you're supposed to do on Purim on Saturday in a walled city, which in modern times only happens in Jerusalem, and we're going to divide it up. We're going to put part of it on Friday and part of it on Sunday to basically make Purim 3 days long. Read the Megillah on Friday, say the special blessings on Saturday, and give your charity and your shlach manot baskets on Sunday. It makes Purim very, very long. Now, we might ask, why didn't they just say, when Shushan Purim's on Shabbat, we'll just do Purim with everybody else on Friday? It would have made it so much easier if they did that. And the rabbis of the Talmud discussed that when one Nudnik rabbi in the Talmud, had I lived in Talmudic times, I would have been that Nudnik rabbi who said, why don't we just do it all on Friday and then it's good? And everybody's happy, we had Purim, we're done. But no, they said, there's a reason that we should divide it up. And the reason is this, that because Shushan Purim really is on Shabbat, and we're not doing certain things on Shabbat, giving gifts, reading the Megillah, and carrying it, and giving charity. But if we did it all in advance, it wouldn't honor Shushan Purim because we would pretend Shushan Purim didn't even exist if we did it all on Friday. So we'll do some on Sunday afterwards. And the Nudnik rabbi in the Talmud said, he didn't use these exact words, but this is basically what he said. That's a lovely, stupid idea that you rabbis came up with. It doesn't make any sense. We should do it all on Friday and it's all there. We don't miss it. They said, no, but we'll then forget about Shushan Purim. But we shouldn't forget to do the things that are required on Purim, so we should put them afterwards, so we remember Shushan Purim and the things that we're supposed to do. And we'll learn an extra lesson from it. And the rabbis in the Talmud said that the extra lesson is this. Whenever Shushan Purim is on Shabbat, then we have to give charity the next day. And we have to give gifts the next day to fulfill that commandment of Purim. It's a reminder to us, and granted, the next reminder will be 20 years from now, but still, it's a reminder to us that when there's an excuse that we can find to not do the important things that we should do in the world, namely give gifts to our friends and give charity to those in need, we should have an extra reminder to do so, even though we have an excuse not to. If Shushan Purim falls on Shabbat, we could just say, oh, we don't need to give charity. We don't need to give gifts to our friends. We'll skip it this year because Shushan Purim's on Shabbat. But by having it come afterwards, these rabbis in the Talmud said, it gives us another time to say, don't use an excuse to get out of the things that you should do. Don't say, well, I had something else important to do, Shabbat, so I'm not going to give charity. I had something else important to do, Shabbat, so I'm not going to give gifts to my friends. They said whenever this comes along, this extra day after Shushan Purim, it will remind us, when the excuse is there, don't take the excuse. Remember that you still, even though you might say, I'm not going to do it today, you still have a responsibility towards charity, towards goodness, toward these things that we should do to make our lives and our world a better place. And so even though it doesn't happen on every single calendar year, sometimes there's 3 or 4 years in between, this last time 4 years, now 20 more years. After that, it's like 3 years later. But when it comes along, it serves as an extra reminder. Don't forget to do the important things. And when you have the excuse to not do them, skip the excuse. Continue to give charity. Continue to give gifts to your friends. And continue to celebrate the joys of Purim. It also says in the Talmud, "Kishenichnas Adar marbim hasimcha." When the month of Adar comes, happiness increases because Purim comes in the month of Adar. It is said also in the Talmud that when the Messiah comes, the Messiah will get rid of all holidays except for one. Now, you might think it's Shabbat, right? But no, when the Messiah comes, it will permanently be Shabbat. But the Talmud says when the Messiah comes, the Messiah will get rid of every holiday. Rosh Hashanah, gone. Yom Kippur, gone. Sukkot, Pesach, Shavuot, gone. The only holiday that will still be here? Purim. And why does the Talmud say that? Because when Adar comes, we increase happiness with Purim. Why would anybody get rid of a holiday that tells you to increase your happiness? And so the Talmud says when the Messiah comes, that's the one we'll keep. We'll continue to give gifts to friends. We'll continue to give charity to those in need. And we'll continue, when Purim comes every year, to increase our happiness as well. Amen. Page 586, we'll come to the closing prayers of our service. The bottom of the page will rise for Aleinu. Aleinu d'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tet gdula liyotzeh breshit, shelo asanu kogoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, Vigor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamelachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim veyoser haaretz umoshav yikaro bashamayim mima'al ushchinatu zo begov he meromim hu Eloheinu einod emet malkeinu efesulato Kakatuv betorato Vyadata hayom bahashivota elevavecha Ki Adonai hua Elohim Bashamayim mima'al Ve'al ha'aretz Mitachat einod the middle of 590. Ki amalchut shelcha hi olamei timloch bechavod. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar v'aya Adonai le'melech al kol ha'aretz. Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad. Ushemo echad. Ushemo echad. We can all be seated. In our yard sites this week, we recall the memories of Gretchen Stevenson, Louis Mark, Lucille Taubin, Marcel Lieberman, Marie Shore, Peter Severson, Alta Silver, Ellen McIntosh, Katie Goldstein, Ruth Fox, Doris Rosenberg, Irving Waxman, Nathan Kelmer, Robert Zaza, Sina Berlinski, Fran Hart, Francis Borchan, Penny Schreier, Peter Fransky, Robert Lewis, Bob Rackless, Sarah Singer, William Chomsky, Anna Kranich, Florence Cook, Howard Goldstein, Lawrence Greenberg, Leah Orleans, Mary Geiser, Maury Morrison, Saul Bloomfield, Stan Warhoft, Alexander Kaplan, Barry Essex, Elliot Winkler, Jack Motro, Louis Silver, and Sonia Levitt. Are there any other yard sites that anyone is observing this week? Yehu zichronam levracha, may their memories be an eternal blessing. We ask mourners to rise and those whose custom it is to stand with them as we turn in our Siddur to page 598. And in their memory we sanctify God's name. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah Be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye d'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uv'zman kariv v'yimru Amen. Yehe shmei rabbah mavorach le'olam olmei almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei d'kudusha b'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbichata v'nechemata Ta'amiran be'alma v'yimru Amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav huya aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen. We can all be seated. Denny Elston from our board of directors will share with us a few announcements before we bring our service to a close. Sure. Eric Deutsch from our board of directors, groom to be, will share our announcements with us.
Thanks, Denny.
I'll do the second half of the first one.
Yeah, it's cool, it's cool. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you for joining us for this Erev Shabbat service. If you are new or visiting Temple Shalom for the first time, welcome. Please join us for the oneg so that we can enjoy ourselves and get to know you. Thank you to Rabbi Jay Sherwood for leading us this evening. Thank you to everyone else who contributed. Mazel tov to
Wait,
Lynn
let me see if I can read this part. I think it says Mazel tov to Lynn and Eric. That's what it says. Mazel tov to Lynn and Eric on the occasion of their Erev, which we'll be doing tomorrow morning during our Torah service. You should all come. It's going to be beautiful and wonderful.
Okay, so some dates. Today is Mishloach Manot pickup day. It is in the back. If you see the far doors, you go around, it's around the table. Your box has your card on it and is waiting for you in the lobby by the upstairs kitchen. Thank you and Hag Purim Sameach. The third film in our Jewish film series is Sunday, March 16th. That's, a couple days away at 4 p.m. The film is Unbroken. There is a wine and cheese reception to follow. If you pre-register, tickets are $15 or $20 at the door. March, save the dates. Boker Tov, Sunday Club, Minyan, breakfast, and program with Mr. Jeremy Shaver, the ADL Senior Associate Regional Director, Sunday, March 23rd. I will not be here.
Where do you be?
Atlanta. The Chocolate Seder is Saturday, March 29th. That is so soon. Sunday, March 30th is a new, they never taught me that in Hebrew school, 12 things you might not know about Pesach, which you probably learned some of at the Chocolate Seder. April, save the dates. The newest Melton School class, the Jewish State, with Kobe Humash, starts on Tuesday, April 1st. Go to the events calendar to check it out. Temple Shalom has tickets for the Nefesh Mountain Band concert at Oscar Blues on April 3rd. There are several places to access the order page. If you can't find one, call the office. So that's not here. That is at Oscar Blues. The next day, Nefesh Mountain Band's Donnie and Eric will be with us on Friday, April 4th. Then,
For Bluegrass Shabbat.
for Bluegrass Shabbat, not on the list, but that's what it's for. A mere 2 days later, if you haven't gotten enough music, our third chamber music concert is going to be Sunday, April 6th from 3 to 5 p.m. So lots of music that weekend. It'll be lovely. Our second night Seder is Sunday, April 13th. Purchasing reservations are live at templeshalom.com. Volunteers to help before, during, and after, please call the office. So if you want to help out, call the office. After that is Mitzvah Day on Sunday, April 27th, Israel Day in Denver, Sunday, May 4th. That's April. Also that. We also have the Pickleball Havurah. The next meeting is Sunday, March 30th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Peak Pickleball. Elliot Cohen and Susan Eisenman are your contact people. And the non-date specific general announcements. We're almost at the end. The board is requesting that you go to your templeshalom.com account and put in a recent picture of your family and or yourself. If you have trouble doing this on your own, please call the office. Our security is heightened. Please consider additional support beyond your security fees. Thank you to everyone who's donated extra to our security fund to date. If you know of any temple members who are ill, hospitalized, or suffering from loss, please contact the temple office so that we can be sure to provide encouragement and support. Last one.
Oh. And thank you to Lynn Kaplan and Eric Deutsch for our oneg this evening in honor of their Erev tomorrow. There we go.
Shabbat Shalom.
Is there more?
Bring leftover containers if you come tomorrow.
Did you all hear that? No. Bring leftover containers if you're here tomorrow. I've heard rumors of lots of cooking happening in the last 48 hours or so. So you want to bring your leftover containers. Yeah?
Yeah, 'cause we're getting on a plane less than 24 hours later, so please take the food.
There you go. Because it will spoil in their fridge, so take the food. So let's see, a little Adonolam melody. Let's see, we sang 2 Craig Taubman melodies tonight. We sang 2 Debbie Friedman melodies tonight. We sang 1 of mine, so I'm going to catch up, and we'll be 2, 2, and 2. And here we go, Adonolam, page 625. Adonolam, Asher Malach, Terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'ik Nasom, V'Hefzo Kol, Azai Melech, Shemo Yikra, Ve'acharei, Kibot HaKol, Levado, V'Loch Nora, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please join us for Kiddush and Motzi in the back of the room. You bet.
Elohim, Yom Hashvi, Yeshua Tov, Kibo Shabbat.